know in Greek there are 4 different words that are all translated in English as the word love. There's eros, which is romantic love. There's phileo, which is friendship. There's storge, which is common affection, and then there's agape, which is unconditional love. Now I wanted to talk about the latter two, storge versus agape, and what's the difference between them. But I think there's a TV show that illustrates the point fairly well. So without much ado.
Alright, Sheree, Kent, brought us all in here because I think we're missing the boat. I think we're not relating to the youth in today's culture. Our coolness level has dropped, and I think
coolness level? What does that even?
Our coolness level, well, like we're not down with the homies. If you got what I'm saying, we're not up in the grill of today's. In your face, youth culture, iPod wearing, bleached out hair, look, I got a skateboard, I'm rad, kind of a thing.
See, Brian always gets these ideas where, he's going to improve everything in Gangway, and they're always horrible. And often he forgets them, either the next day or later on that day, so he'll call us in for a meeting, and, we'll all cross our fingers and hope that none of it actually comes to fruition.
I'm thinking,
So you call us in here in a meeting to tell us that you don't think we're cool enough, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, just, look, just go with me here, alright? Just go with me here, alright? Like, Kent, maybe we could, ever thought maybe like, frosted tips, like little color in the hair, maybe,
are you talking about
come across like a little youthful, what?
Are you talking about the premature gray that I have in the...
Great youth pastor once said that if you don't look like a student, you can't minister to them. And, I'm just trying to give our staff a little inspiration here, and, like with Kent, is it dyed, is it natural, who knows? I'm just trying to give some direction here for my staff, and I know that they're 100% behind this and so excited. What? I never noticed.
Oh, yeah, as if you didn't notice. As if that's what you weren't talking about.
Look, just quiet, all right? Look, I'm just trying to offer out some suggestions here of stuff that I think will help and make this go a little bit easier.
So what exactly are we supposed to do?
So let's get in touch with our culture. Sharia, let's team spirit here. We're Team Gangway, go, right? Little,
Are we done here?
Yeah, just get out. Just get out. I'll email you about this.
Like, Brian's just saying, like, you're not cool, basically, and he's kind of pressing the issue of dyeing my hair, but I'd rather gouge out my eyes than dye out my hair, so hopefully he won't press that too hard. Do you want me to send an email out to everyone?
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, buddy. So yesterday Brian was telling us all, we have to be cooler. Gangway needs to be cooler. But I noticed he didn't say anything about himself having to be cooler. So what I interpreted that to mean is Brian thinks no one else in Gangway is as cool as he is. So I figure I won't get any flack if I just come dressed exactly as Brian.
Looking good. Big improvement.
So yeah. I'm so excited. Peace, bro. Go Red Sox. Hey, sorry I missed the meeting. I was on my honeymoon. We went to Jamaica.
Yeah, that's great. Look, I'll let it slide this once. If it happens again, you're out of here. All right? Because we've really come to realize that we got to change some stuff up. And, I've been looking around the youth department, and I realized that we don't have any red-haired students around here. So I'm thinking you need to bleach your hair bright blonde.
But my hair is red.
Yeah, but you're just not appealing. We don't have any red-haired students here.
Yeah, so my boss Brian, his heart's in the right place. Sometimes you just wish it wasn't, though, because it would be a lot easier to dislike him. He's just so out of control.
Okay.
Good. I like the enthusiasm. I like it.
Hey guys, who's down for some rock climbing later?
I'm in.
Sweet man, see
Nice.
you there. Peace, bro.
Now see, that guy gets it. Look how cool he is.
This whole cool thing, what's that about? Like I'm not cool? Come on, look at my shirt.
Yeah, Brian. I love Brian. But not really.
I mean, I like Brian, yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy. You know, you kind of resent the fact that he's in charge. You know that, you know, he's pretty bad at it. But I feel like if someone else was there, you'd probably miss him after a while. But maybe not, I don't know. I guess I'd really like to try and see. See if I'd miss him. I like how at the end of the episode, all the characters say that they love Brian, but they don't really love him. I mean, obviously they mean that sometimes they experience the emotion of love towards Brian and sometimes they don't. And that emotion in Greek is the word storge. But it makes me wonder, is that all that Christ was calling us to when he tells us to love our neighbor? Is he telling us to have that emotion? You know, it reminds me of my experience with the University of Florida. Now, I didn't get into Florida, and many of my closest friends, as well as, let's just say many of my closest friends go to University of Florida. And I remember resenting and just almost hating the city of Gainesville. I mean, that's weird, you know? Hating a city. You know, but then again, I grew up a Gator fan, and I was at UF when they won the football national championship. You know, the one that was sandwiched between their two basketball national championships. And I just remember running out onto University Avenue, just carrying on with thousands of other people cheering. And I was thinking, man, I love this city. But I mean, is that all Jesus was calling us to when he tells us to love? I mean, storge, the emotion of love. I mean, something you can have for an inanimate object, like a city or a football team. You know, I think if we're honest with ourselves, we sometimes really don't like people or don't like being around certain people. We don't experience the emotion of love towards people all the time. And I think this is why we're told that in 1 Corinthians 13 that love is patient, love is kind, it's not self-seeking. I mean, these are actions, these are things we're commanded to do, regardless of whether we love someone or not. See, this is agape. This is the type of love that God has for his people, and I think this is the type of love that God tells his people to have for others. And regardless of whether you're experiencing the emotion of love for someone or not, you're still called to love them. I mean, it can be summed up in thinking, you know, regardless of whether you particularly like someone, you always need to remember that you're still commanded to love them.